What up, free bosses? I'm here with my buddy Keith with the Win It Minute, and basically Keith was asking me, Ian, how do I create a ClickFunnels sales funnel where I want to sell a digital product? And so I was like, well, why don't we shoot a video around it, and I can show everybody at one time, how to actually create a ClickFunnels page, how to create that ClickFunnels product. What we're going to be using is Stripe, so you want to have your Stripe account set up, and then you connect your Stripe account with ClickFunnels. But let's go ahead and jump into it as far as inside ClickFunnels, showing you how to just create a very basic product selling page. So the first thing that I always do is I start up here in the settings area. And integrations is more like if you're doing you're connecting your email software into this funnel. So if somebody opts in, whether it's an opt-in or it's an actual purchase, you can have your integrations sent over to your email provider. So like if you connected MailChimp in, you could set it so that when somebody opts in, automatically that email information that they opted in with gets sent to MailChimp, and then whatever happens with MailChimp. Okay. Yeah. So typically what I'll first do is the SEO metadata. So I always name the page, whatever we're going to name it, just put it in there. Typically what I'll do is like page name and then brand. So let's say that it's like sales page. Or let's say that I'm selling like a course. Yep. So I actually have a course right now. It's called Free Boss Formula. And then I would put like dash my actual brand, which is Free Boss Lifestyle. And then I would usually put that there and then just duplicate it. You can also set an image for your actual page. So
this is for your own internal reference, or is there actually SEO?
That actually changed. If you look here at the top of this page, now it changes how people actually see it in their actual browser. Okay. So that actually changed the text here at the actual tab. Okay. So then you have your tracking codes, which is where you can put in like your Facebook pixel codes and stuff like that, or you can put in there's a third-party software called CF Pro Tools, which he's got. Jamie, the guy that runs CF Pro Tools, he's got a bunch of extra codes where it allows you to do order bump images, it allows you to do promo codes, all these extra features that he's custom coded. You can put that inside this tracking code area. Custom CSS, I usually don't touch that. Background, I usually mess with this, and I will usually make the background white, and then usually if I have an actual background image that I've designed, then I'll upload it into here and I'll have that as the background image. Then typography, so this is like your global, so all of the typography on the page is going to be set with this font. So usually I'll set this immediately, and the font that I always seem to go with is just called Lotto. I always just pick Lotto.
Any artistic reason for that, or is it science, or just something?
I feel like it just works with every brand. Yeah. So I don't know if you noticed, but all these fonts on here changed to Lotto. So now if we just clicked right here, you can see that font is Lotto. So I don't know. I always just adjust the typography right away. Then I come into general and I make sure that the affiliate badge is hidden, because I don't like to have the ClickFunnels affiliate badge. So sometimes, depending on your main settings in your overall ClickFunnels account, that may automatically show. So I always come in here and I set that to hide. Okay. Always have it show for search engines. That's just my preference. So then we can really just get into actually building the funnel. Now, like I told you, I don't really like to mess with the actual template stuff. But for this video, I'm just keep it easy. I'll just do that. So I always do like to have a header in my ClickFunnels. And real quick, let me just explain what the different sections are in the ClickFunnels. So this green thing is like your main section. These are like the big sections, and then inside the green section is going to be a thing called rows, which you can have many different types of rows. You can have one column, two column, multiple column rows inside the actual green sections, and then inside each row is different elements. So the different elements can be like your orders bump, two-step order form, headline, bullet list, images, videos. All that kind of stuff is what's inside each different rows. So it's really like three parts to all the different, what your overall page is made up of is three.
And you can add different elements to each component there.
Yeah. So the actual section is the green. They call it the section. Then they have the rows, and then they have the elements. And the columns is just the parts of the rows. So rows and columns are kind of tied together. So just to show you a quick example of columns, you see how it's like the left column is highlighted, now the right column is highlighted. So if I wanted that right column to have like a background color of red, then I would make it the color red, and then I would make the transparency or the opacity all the way up. And you can adjust like your padding, so like we can make so it's kind of just editing the actual column side of things inside the row. But let's just turn that back down.
And what is your motivation behind all those things? Are you using
it's design.
just a different design?
Yeah,
for each?
so it's like if I want one side to pop out a little bit more, so like just to show you, let's say that I want this left column, because it has all of the information here, let's say I want that to be like more noticeable. So I find that column, click on that, and then I can make it like a yellow background, and now it kind of pops out a little bit more. It kind of grabs your attention more.
And do you typically ask for email, phone number, and billing address?
It just depends on like what I'm selling, because you don't want to have that much like stuff for them to fill out, because then that'll hurt your conversion rates. If you can get away with the least amount of information from them possible, then I would do that. Typically, I don't even like to make it look this big. So see how it's like this billing area is like street address, city, state. It's like it's a huge, takes up a lot of space right there. And then especially if you pop it down into mobile and you view it on mobile, it's like a lot of area just for these couple things. So what I would typically do is I would actually make this type of element. So it looks like that's the billing address. So you can come over here to forms, or no, it's under advanced forms, and you can click billing address. And now this element is all the billing information just in one little area, instead of like breaking it out into all these different little elements here. You can just have it in this one thing. So that kind of like makes it just a little bit easier on the eyes, because they're closer. You're not making it as like intimidating.
Yeah.
You know, so typically I also won't even do these little headlines there, because you have the text right inside the box. So I would just say, you know, enter your full name here or whatever, and then make that font slightly large so that it's really easy to tell, like, oh, that's where you enter your full name. Also, what I like to do for these little like name, email, and phone number is I like to go into advanced, and I use their little icons right here. So if this is the name category, then I'd select the name, and then you can make it a color. And so if you kind of run through these and you just kind of put in your little icons, it adds just a little extra touch to the so phone number and then color, and then I also like to make sure that these are required. Sometimes by default it doesn't make them required.
Now, is the billing address required if they're purchasing something, or do you have to have the billing address on this form right here?
Not necessarily. That really comes down to like your payment processor. So sometimes if you don't have the billing address there, so if you just had name and email, right? Because let's say it's a digital product, so you're not shipping them anything. You don't really care what their address is. If you don't take their billing address, you could get declined in Stripe. Like it could be more likely that you get that payment gets declined, because Stripe may look at that like, oh, I only have their credit card information and their phone number. So Stripe could decline it, as well as for disputes. It's like, it just looks like if they dispute that purchase down the line and all you have is their credit card information, Stripe's going to be like, oh, well, it looks a little bit more fraudulent. But if you have their name, number, email, billing address, and credit card information, then you can kind of tell that to Stripe of like, hey, you know, I think it just helps you with disputes a little bit.
So you recommend that then?
Yeah, I mean, it's just really just personal preference. It's definitely something to test, split test. I know that one of my clients right now is actually split testing, just having the opt-in form with just name, email, and then the credit card information. Then the other one has like everything, and I think he's seeing better results on the form that has everything. That has like the name, email, billing address, and then credit card information.
Okay, interesting.
So yeah. So that is for that. But as far as like building out, different things, let's just go ahead and just jump into building out something. So as far as the header, usually I try to make the header as small as possible. So I try to just make it take up as least amount of vertical space as possible. So I just kind of minimize the padding on the top and bottom. Bring that in. Because again, on mobile, when it sizes down, it's going to take up a lot more space. And when you think about this as like a cell phone,
right,
and you only have a couple inches vertically.
Yeah.
You don't want to take up too much. My preference is like trying to get as much information as possible into the smallest
area.
amount of area possible. Yeah. So like when it comes to like your main lander area, so let's go ahead and create your main section that they're going to see when they very first visit the page. So we just created a new section. I usually jump into settings, and I usually will just go with full page. You can definitely have like a wide or medium, but I always just go full page because, again, I like to take up a good amount of real estate and really just utilize all the real estate on the actual computer screen. So, add in a one-column row. So this is like my actual like landing area little
Is the Ian Smith
layout.
template kind of?
Yeah, this is it. So usually I have one column right here as like the main headline. Then I'll do like a 2-column. And then under that I'll do another 1 column. And so let's make this, usually I would have a background image so you'd see that back there, but let's just make this a I don't know, like a blue or something. I kind of feel like Bob Ross. Let's make this painting, a little bit of a blue. Yeah, all right. So we'll add in the headline. And so what is the digital product that you're about to sell?
Online course for Facebook for realtors. So let's say we're targeting realtors in the marketplace to learn how to use a Facebook ads course.
Learn how to land clients as a... What's something that like they struggle with right now? What do realtors struggle with right now without having to spend a ton of money, without having to spend a ton of time, without... What's one of their current...
I would say the biggest thing is for them to target the right audience and to learn how to find the right audience for their content.
So a problem that realtors have right now is like reaching the right people.
Yeah, right.
Without wasting money on, like, what could we say without X, you know? They want to learn how to land clients as a realtor using Facebook ads without wasting money or without
much investment of your time.
There. Yeah, and we're just kind of throwing this out there right now. So, so usually what I do is I'll make this section, I usually like to round the edges at 10 pixels, 10 pixel rounded. Maybe I'll do like a full border, just like a 1 pixel full border.
Any reason behind the 10 pixel or the 1 pixel?
So the 10 pixel is the rounded around the corners. It's the corner rounding. And then what I do is I make this white.
Oh, yeah.
I'll make the padding like 10, 15, whatever. And then I'll make this text right here a lot bigger. So usually in the 40s or 50s, really so that it just kind of like fills out the box a good amount. So let's just go with 46. Then this is really important. You always want to make sure that you edit the size on a mobile. So look at right now. If you looked at this on mobile, it would be massive. It'd take up like the whole screen.
Right.
Right. So what you can do is you come here to this little box and you say edit mobile size. And usually I'll stick around like the high 20s or the low 30s for the headline text on mobile.
I didn't know you could have different avenues. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll make the headline size like, let's make it 30. And yeah, so let's go 30 on mobile. So now, as you can see, the headline text gets bigger, and you see how like time is kind of just hanging out there on its own line by itself.
Yeah.
So what you can do then is grab the row settings, and you can bring in the sides by, I'm not sure what's the difference between that one and this one, but there. So now it kind of looks a little bit there. So now the text is formatted in a nice little paragraph. It's like that. Let's see how it looks on mobile. So it still looks a little bit funky on mobile, how it's kind of like time is at the bottom there. But maybe we make the font a little bit smaller. Time just really wants to stick there.
Yeah.
The bottom. Maybe we go bigger. 34. Yeah, investment of your time is just not. Well, we'll just leave it there. Yeah. So on mobile, it's gonna have that time is gonna be at the bottom there. But anyway, so that's already looking kind of decent there. How you have like this main attention-grabbing headline right there. Now, what I like to do is not have that much padding between the like the top space and like where the first line of copy is going to be, because I don't want them to have to scroll for days. So I really limit my amount of like vertical padding and stuff. So I always, when you create a new section or row, Facebook's default size is like 40 padding top and bottom. So usually I'll drop that down to a lot smaller, usually between 10 to 20. So as you can see, like mobile, it's a lot closer to the top now. Same with desktop, it's a lot closer, this little gap right there.
Now, are all these dimensions and that you've figured out, is this like a formula that you figured out just by trial and error? Or is there like a reference sheet Facebook provides? Or like?
Yeah, no, these are all just trial and error. Just how I've kind of like, because I've designed so many different funnels that I'm just kind of like, I stick to what I know and what I know works. And I don't really like to space things out too much because I don't want people scrolling for days. So I just try to make it close, but not so close that, it's...
Well, I mean, this is all the stuff that, like, you create a course and then you want to go launch it on ClickFunnels, but you don't realize that there's so many more elements to it that, if you can use your expertise that you've used in your time, saves everyone else's time. That's interesting.
So then I'll throw it. So I really like to break up the text with images. You don't want to have like a ton of text. So let's just throw in. So yeah, so you throw in a random image there, and
these are images provided by ClickFunnels.
Yeah, this is just like a stock ClickFunnels image. So let's say that we're selling floppy drives. Now we're selling floppy drives. So then I would put some text on this side. Where it's like, so if we're playing into learn how to land clients as a realtor using Facebook ads. So what I follow a framework of like how I actually structure all of my sales letters. So at this point now I'm kind of addressing them and kind of like helping them to qualify that they're in the right place. Right. So now I would say like, are you a realtor that struggles to get right? Because that's what's kind of helping them. What's another thing you could ask them to kind of qualify?
Oh, doing a pre-qual? Okay.
Yeah. So you struggle to get more leads because this thing is going to help them get leads by running Facebook ads.
Yep.
It's going to help them get their brand out there.
Right.
Well, ultimately, I guess, so leads are the main goal, but what else are they going to get? They're going to build credibility and familiarity, right? Like as they start to grow their brand and get more page likes and get out there more, then they're going to be looked at as more of a credible source of information.
Right, and I think you want to have them utilize their content. So many of them create content, and then it just kind of goes out there, and then they see no benefit from it. So this will help them create that content and then use it to their benefit.
Right. So
targeting, are you targeting the right audience? Are you targeting the right potential clients?
And if your content being seen?
Right.
Like, you're creating the content. Is it actually being consumed?
Absolutely.
So now, like, you have a couple questions to ask them that is gonna really get them like in tune more. They're gonna, after they read those questions, and if they answer yes to all those questions, then chances are they're in the right place. Then they're a prime suspect for you. So this looks, see how like it's a blue background. Mm-hmm. It looks kind of weird. So you can kind of do things to make this text pop out a little bit more. So you can color the background like with that white. You could make this font white maybe that would pop it out more. Different things like that. So anyway,
Sure.
just sticking to like copy ways. So now we want to make the big promise, right? So in the headline, it already says learn how to land clients using. So now we want to kind of elaborate a little bit more on that and also kind of answer their questions here. Yes, you answered, yes to a struggle that wants, a realtor that wants more leads. You want your content to be consumed more. You want to reach your ideal clients. So usually I'll just duplicate. If I'm going to go with the same type of element, I usually will just duplicate and then I'll just edit it. So we can say something like, then maybe make that bold, maybe center that so it's a little bit different than the other text. Maybe put a little bit of space in between the top of that text. So now this is just kind of like beautifying it really. Mm-hmm. So I would make this text a little bit smaller. So let's go with 24. Let's make it italicized.
Italicized, look at that.
Yeah, just to kind of break it up a little bit. And then let's make this image a little bit smaller. So what I like to do is just adjust the width. When I'm making images smaller, I usually go with the width, because if you go with the height, then it messes up. It looks all stretched out on mobile. So if you always adjust the width, then it prevents it from looking weird on mobile.
Okay.
And on different screen sizes. So let's just put it at 450. Or sometimes I'll just kind of throw in.
So it's important to always double back and make sure it's optimized for mobile use.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So make sure that it looks good on mobile. Like as far as like how, like see how the image right now is a little bit not even with the text.
Mm-hmm.
So if we just try to make the image seem about the same size as the text, then that'll look kind of decent. And then we can use some, you can also change the column widths by doing that. So you grab that middle bar and you can move it around like that. So maybe that looks a little bit nicer with the floppy drive. And then let's just kind of pull this in a little bit. So now we're at 25. And then this section right here is going to be kind of like the call to action. So we definitely want to put in a button. And then maybe a line of text that says... Now,
when you put that button in, that's an actual clickable button. So when they click on that, it's going to take them somewhere?
Yeah. So what we can do is we can have them click to the order form. Right as they click that, then it scrolls to the order form.
Okay.
So what I usually do, if I'm going to set up like a button that makes them scroll, is I'll go into wherever I want them to scroll to, and I'll make sure that I name that section. Here in this little hashtag area, you can name the actual section. So I'll just make it really big and noticeable. Order section. Click update. And then when you come here to the button, then we go to set action. Scroll to, and you see here now order section is all big. And so as far as when you set things in ClickFunnels to scroll to something, it's always best to actually have it to scroll to a section. Like I've tried to have it scroll to a row. You know how there's sections,
sure,
rows, and then the elements. It messes up when you try to have it scroll to a row. So I've just always found that ClickFunnels has their own little bugs and stuff, things that work and don't work. But like I always just use a section. So when you're doing any kind of scrolling to, so that's how you assign it. So now when somebody clicks on that button, it's going to instantly scroll them down to right here.
Okay.
To the top of that section. So you can say something like click to, and I always tend to say click to or click here to XYZ.
Learn more.
Yeah, because sometimes if they're scrolling through on their cell phone, it may just look like a blue square. It doesn't look like a button. It may just look like a blue square, and they may not know to actually click on that. So if you say click to, then you're telling them, hey, this is a button. Go ahead and click here to take the next steps. Or so we'll just say click here to buy now. And then what I like to do is I'll put in a little icon in the button. So put in like one of these little arrows, and then so that's the icon for on the left side of the button. On the right side of the button, if it's like a buy now thing, then I'll type in cart and I'll get the little shopping cart thing.
Okay.
So now the button kind of has a little bit more characteristic.
Yeah.
Also, what you can do is put this little effect and make the button actually, is that the one? No, it's rocking. Yeah, just kind of make it like
cool.
Rock back and forth like that. And then you also want to make sure that the button is really big and noticeable. So like putting a color like orange or yellow or, so yeah, let's just go with like an orange, and then we can make the font either black or white. Let's actually go with white. We can also make the font size a lot bigger in the button like that. But again, if you want to make the font really big, you got to make sure that looks good on mobile. So you click here the mobile version, and then let's just make it like a font size 30 on mobile. So right now the button is huge like that, but if we look at it on mobile, it's a lot smaller.
Excellent.
And sometimes when you're editing the text size for mobile, it's good to actually be on the mobile viewer side. So then you click on it, and then you go into here, and let's make it 26. Yeah, so now that looks way better.
Very cool.
On mobile. So
mobile optimization.
Yeah, for sure.
Key.
So let's actually tweak this text real quick. So now if we want to say, take your, so let's say we're saying here, learn how to land clients as a realtor using Facebook ads without much investment of your time. Then we qualify them and say, look, are you a realtor that struggles? Are you trying to get leads? Well, when you join this Facebook ads course, you're going to learn how to get clients to consume your content so you can land more qualified leads. So now we want to say something about like take action now. This, you can say like scarcity or something. This course will
take your business to the next level.
I would say like this course will not be around for long, or this course will be ending soon. This course will end soon. We'll just say.
Okay.
So something like that just kind of gives them a little bit more incentive to click that button. You know, you're kind of like a little push over the edge to try and get them to click that, and then we'll make the spacing a little bit bigger between the button and that text. So see how this spacing is a little bit weird right there? So we can go here, make the bottom a little bit less. So now everything looks a little bit more evenly spaced there. So that's like your main landing area. So on a desktop computer, this is what's going to show before they even scroll down. So this is above the fold. Then you want to look at what is it on mobile. And let's say that you don't want this little tagline to show up on mobile, so we can click here, and we just want it to show on desktop.
Okay.
So if we click that, now this little tagline is only going to be on desktop, so on mobile it'll look like that.
Okay.
So just a little bit cleaner, less real estate being taken up. So you can definitely make, certain things only show on mobile or desktop, which is really cool about ClickFunnels. So let's, I've been forgetting to do this the whole time, but you always want to be saving.
Oh, yeah.
The whole thing, because sometimes if your computer freezes or you lose internet or something happens, you always want to be saving after you do any kind of big change.
Backup.
Right now I just saved, and let's just go ahead and preview it real quick. So now you can see that the fold, all this good pertinent information is right here above the fold.
And they can purchase it right on this ClickFunnels page, and through Stripe, you said. If you have to set that up separately, your Stripe account.
Yeah, you have to actually connect Stripe, and then when they actually do go to the purchase side of things, then it will automatically, like, once their credit card information is entered and all that information, and then they hit that submit button, then it's going to instantly Stripe is going to run that payment basically.
Okay. And you recommend that rather than sending them to your own another website. Close the deal within ClickFunnels.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I would say so. I mean, what a lot of people do is they'll use PayPal as like another option, and PayPal will usually it'll usually increase your conversion rates by about 15%. Like that's what I've seen, 15 to 30%. So you definitely want to have the option for people to check out using PayPal, but to have that as like your only option to check out using PayPal probably wouldn't be the best thing. You want to definitely take your payments through ClickFunnels. So right now, if you preview the page, it's going to show just this right there, right? There's no products because we haven't actually created a product yet, right? So let's go ahead and just create a product so that you can see it right there. So we go to products, go to add product, and then let's just call it Realtor Course.
Okay. And
billing, we'll just say is Stripe. Let's just charge $35 for it, whatever you're going to charge. One-time payment. So this little spot right here is what's going to show up on their actual credit card statement. So you want to make sure that's pretty accurate. So if they see it, they're like, what did I buy there? And then typically I delete this stuff. So fulfillment email. Usually I do my emails, like if I'm emailing them, if I'm having like an automated like thank you email be sent out, then I'll do that through like MailChimp. I won't usually use ClickFunnels email, so usually I'll just delete this. I don't even know if it'll be sent out even if I don't delete it, but I always just delete it. This is where you would set up your actual like email software to, you know, action on submit. So if they submitted the order form, then it adds them to MailChimp, and then on the MailChimp side of things is where you have like an automated email be sent out to them. Sure. Stuff like that. Shipping is when you're actually shipping actual products, then you would do that. So then you just go ahead and create product. Now a product is actually here. So if we actually view the funnel, you can see that it actually shows Realtor Course there. Now the actual product is being pulled in. So now they can actually purchase. And if they completed the order now, they would literally be charged $35 from my Stripe account, because it would charge their credit card. It would pull in their name, email, all the address, you know, billing information like that, and that would be sent over to Stripe, as well as that would live inside ClickFunnels, and your Stripe account would then have the $35.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah, so that's how you create an actual product, and you want to link up your Stripe with your ClickFunnels, and Stripe does all the payment processing and stuff. If you wanted to actually do it through PayPal, then what you would need to do is go into PayPal, create a button, create like a buy now button, basically create the product inside ClickFunnels, and inside PayPal, and you would say that it's $35, and then you would grab that link for that. Like when you're creating the button, you can like have the option to either be a button or have it be like an email. Like you can say, hey, I just want to email it to somebody, and they'll give you a URL. So then what you do is you create a button inside of here saying like, let's just duplicate this.
Or PayPal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can say click to buy with PayPal. And then whenever they click on that, you can set the action to actually be a URL. You put in that PayPal button URL, and then when they click that, they're going to be taken to that PayPal button and be able to buy it all through PayPal.
Awesome.
Yeah. The thing with checking out with PayPal, though, is that, so what's so great about ClickFunnels is that after they purchase from this page, you can then have them do an upsell page. You can, right after this page is an upsell page, and then they can basically do a one-click upsell where they click this one button, and then instantly their card is charged again if it was checked out with Stripe. But with PayPal, if they check out with PayPal, you can't do that one-click upsell, because they're leaving ClickFunnels, they're going to PayPal, they're buying with PayPal, and then they're going to be sent back to ClickFunnels on your thank you page, but you can't do that whole one-click upsell thing.
I see.
Yeah.
And you could get me like a subscription base of any sort. Can you do that all on ClickFunnels as well with Stripe?
Yeah, you can do both. Yeah, so you can create a subscription product inside Stripe. You'd have to go into your actual Stripe account, set that up, and then you would go into ClickFunnels, and when you create your product, you would say that it's a subscription type of product. You can actually have it so that, let's say you wanted to do not necessarily like a subscription where it's like month after month after month. Let's say you just wanted them to make like 3 payments of, so let's say that your course is $1,000 and you wanted to give people the option to pay 3 payments of $300 or $330. Then you'd set up that subscription in Stripe, right? So it's like $330 a month.
Right.
And then in ClickFunnels, you say end the subscription after X amount of months. So when you create that product inside of PayPal, you would, actually I don't have a subscription to show, but basically you would have it like when you click the subscription tab, number of payment plan payments. So you can have the subscription cancel after X amount of payments. So yeah, so if you're so you can make it so that like they pay 3 months only, X amount of dollars, and then it ends. So it's like a short-term subscription.
Yeah.
Same thing with PayPal. It's like you can have it so that they pay 3 payments of XYZ, and it's all done through PayPal.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I guess my last question then also is, so what's your favorite strategy to drive traffic? Are you using primarily Facebook ads to drive traffic to the ClickFunnels URL? Or does ClickFunnels have an offering to create? Or do you use like YouTube, Google, or anything?
Yeah, so ClickFunnels is not about traffic at all. It's purely about once you get traffic to it, then ClickFunnels is like, all right, let's try and upsell them to get them more money out of that customer. Let's try and actually create them as a customer, all that kind of stuff. So ClickFunnels has nothing to do with traffic. Where I would get traffic is from Facebook, from Instagram, from YouTube ads, Google ads, Snapchat now. I'm really experimenting with Snapchat and seeing some great results with running traffic in Snapchat. But, and then there's organic side of traffic where maybe you just create a YouTube video and you're not putting any money behind it, but you're telling people, hey, go to freebosslifestyle.com to learn more. And so you're organically driving traffic. Or maybe you do a podcast interview and during the podcast you're saying, and if you want to learn more, then go to freebosslifestyle.com, and then that's where they show up at your landing page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So ClickFunnels is really just about the beauty of ClickFunnels is that you have these series of landing pages that are like they visit this landing page and it's very tunnel focused, where like a normal website is like they have all this nav bar at the top and they can click over here, they can go over there, they can go over here. ClickFunnels is like very tunnel visioned. It's like you visit this one landing page, you either buy or you don't buy. It's not so much about like, oh, look at this product. It's not so much shopping oriented. It's like, let's just try and sell you one product, and then once we can get you to buy that one product, then let's upsell you on an order bump, and then let's upsell you on a one-click upsell, or then maybe if you say no to the one-click upsell, then you can downsell them, and if you downsell them, usually you want to make the deal sweeter. So maybe you like discount the product, or you offer more value, or you extend the guarantee, or different things like that. So that's what's actually really cool about ClickFunnels is then getting them as a customer and then trying to maximize the value of them as a customer to get them to spend more. Yeah. Well, cool. Well, hopefully you guys learned something about ClickFunnels in this video. If you want to learn more, definitely go to freebosslifestyle.com. I have a free mini course that you can jump into and learn a lot of really good stuff about internet marketing and sales funnels and stuff like that. If you want to learn more about Keith, go to winitminute.com.
Winitminute.com.
Winitminute.com. Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks for watching.
Appreciate it.